Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you back to the MSFC for the 8th race of the season, here taking place at the track of the Icy Hots, the Icy Mountain, a fan favorite track in Season 1, returning with only minor changes. But it's time for me to hand the mic over to our guest commentator for today.
Hi everybody, my name is Nico and I'll be your guest commentator for today. We are starting off with the home team of the Icy Mountain, the Icy Hots, with Nova competing. They are currently sitting in 10th in the individual standings, and their team sitting in 9th after that brilliant Season 1 performance, but just missing out because of a certain little bitch. Anyways, Nova going through the first sector, carrying some all-right speed. How's it going to shake out? It's 13.04 so far. We're going to have to see how these times stack up compared to the rest of the field. Their CISO looks pretty good. They're carrying some good speed despite bouncing off the walls. A little less than 24 seconds out of the ski slope, and decent bumpers. This looks like it's going to be a solid time of 30.75. Next up, we have Chipper for the Wyvern Rumble. Almost said Black Rose there, but that is not the team name. Black Rose currently sitting in 13th in the overall standings. Chipper sitting in 7th along with their team, which is also sitting in 7th. Pretty hard to see this marble down the course here. How will their time be shaking out against Nova? They're 2/10 back going into the ski slope. Not very much speed, but they have a very straight trajectory going into that turn. How the time going to shake out? They've lost time half a second back going into the bumpers. They carry it pretty clean. Their time going to shake out? 2/3 back of Nova. Next up is Glaive for the Moon Melodies. This is a team this team needs some magic. They're currently sitting in 10th in the overall standings, and after 2 bronzes to start off the league, they are just not having a good time after that. They take the right side of the split. That's the first marble that we saw take the right side, and they're actually ahead of Nova. They're 1/10 ahead going to the ski slope. It's a pretty straight trajectory, but they're not carrying as much speed as I think they would have liked. Look at that, they lost a lot of time. 1.2 back. This looks like it's going to slot into last place, especially with those bumpers, not the best that we've seen. It's going to be slotting to last with 33.47. My apologies for that. We are back, and we have Tartarus. You guys know how I feel about this marble after the certain incident, but I will try to keep a calm tone here as Tartarus races. They're carrying some alright speed, taking the left side of the split here. This is our bronze medalist at Icy Mountain in Season 1, and they are 3 times ahead. Why are they always ahead? They're not even that good. It was 1 pick away. I was going to pick them, and they were 1 pick away. Man. This thing sucks. Frick this. I'm out. They slot to first with a 29.03. Alright, next up we have Showmaker for the Shadowhunters, and we are going to ignore what just happened. This is a team that they really do need something. Both of their marbles, not only are they the dead last team, but Showmaker and Colt, they are both the bottom 2 in the provisional standings. Both are even below 0. That is just very disappointing of this team. They're not doing that bad so far, though. They're a little less than 2/10 behind Tartarus. And they did lose time. It's 3/4 of a second back, going down into the bumpers now. How's it going to shake out? The 2.42. That will slot them into 4th. Also, this means that Glaive is officially out of the battle for pole. Next up, we have Electra, currently sitting in 5th in individual standings, and their team, Team Fire, also sitting in 5th in the team standings. Electra has been super impressive so far. 3 medals, 2 silvers, 1 bronze, but they want a gold. They expressed that they just want something, and they are having a really good qualifier so far. They're 4/10 ahead of Tartarus so far. They are going towards the right side trajectory. They did lose time. 2/3 back as we go into the bumpers. 2.3 back of Tartarus. That'll slot them in third. Next up, we have Opal for the United Raids, the team that moves up 3 spots into third after Kinesis got that gold at Layer of Legends. Down they go. Kinesis has been really impressive so far, currently sitting in third in individuals behind Vertigo and Bedlam. Opal not as much, it's currently sitting 16th in individuals. They did get a 4th at Detroit Derby, but nothing much other than that. They're quarter of a second back of Tartar so far, but they're not carrying the best speed. Ooh, very slow through the second sector. They're 2.81 back going into the bumpers, and this looks like it's going to slot into last place. Not good at all. 34.47, more than a second back of Glaive. Now put them into last right now. Moving on, we have Dart for Motime Madness. This team has probably been a bit of a shocker so far. Both of their marbles in the top 9 in the individuals, and their team sitting in 6th. They had a very strong start to the season, and Motime Madness did, but other than that, they've kind of been lacking a bit. Let's see if Dart can put stuff together in this race. They're a little less than half second back of Tartarus going out of the first sector, and their second sector looks not bad. And let's see how the time will shake out. I lost the time. 1 2/3 back, going down into the bumpers now. The time will, it's not the best, but it's also not the worst. It is 4.06. I think that'll slot them into 6th place. Now, every marble left will decide one slot for a battle for Q2. We have Blink next. They're carrying some solid speed out of those first few turns. They take the left side of the split. Those 90-degree turns, they're handling them very well. How will the time shake out? They're 5/10 ahead. Will this be the marble to finally dethrone Tartarus from the number 1 spot? They're carrying some very solid speed down the ski slope. What's their time? They're 1.5 seconds ahead. This looks like a block for first place, if not a battle for pole position. And yes, they do. They're half second ahead of Tartarus, and they have punched their ticket into Q2. They placed second last time at Icy Mountain, but here is our first placer, which was Alpha. Now, we did see their teammate Vertigo stumble quite a bit at Icy Mountain last season with their big mistake that cost them 3 positions and also the championship. But now, Vertigo has redeemed themselves and are currently in first place in the individual standings. Alpha, they need something. They're not doing as well as the other contenders. They're 1.14 back out of the first sector. Now they're 1.47 back. How they handled the bumpers? Someone tell me what just happened. What just happened? They just vaulted themselves right to first place. That was an incredible performance through the bumpers. They're nearly 4/10 ahead of Blink and have punched their ticket into Q2. That is extremely impressive from Alpha. Next up is Magnum. Nova now on the chopping block for the home team. Already from Electron down, they cannot make it to the Alpha pole. How will Magnum's time shake out of the first sector? They're ahead of Alpha. They're 3/10 ahead. They are green though, so it's not the fastest time that we've seen. They did lose time through sector 2, 0.7 back. They're carrying some good speed through the bumpers though. How will the time shake out? It's 4th. Tartarus is locked in, and they have knocked out Nova. The only marble that can stop Magnum from being in the Alpha pole is Hero. The time to beat is a little less than 30.5 seconds. Will Hero be able to beat that? They take the right side of the split. They are 0.8 ahead of Alpha. It doesn't really mean much though, because Alpha didn't have the best Sector 1. And also, Hero very slowing down in Sector 2. And they're 2.5 back out of Sector 2. And it doesn't look like that they're going to be making into that gap. Not even close. They slot into 9th, 4.8 back. That means that our top 4 will be Alpha, Blink, Tartarus, and Magnum. Here we are at Q2, and we are rolling. It's Alpha out to the very lead. Blink takes second, Magnum in third, and Tartarus in in last right now. Take that. They take the right side of the split, but it doesn't really help them out too much. But as I say that, they start catching up, and it's a big battle for second. It's Alpha still holding the lead, though. Look at Blink, though. Blink gaining a lot of ground, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make the pass yet. Coming onto the bumpers now. Not quite. Blink cannot make the pass yet. They're one step behind Alpha on the elevator as we start our second and final lap at Icy Mountain for qualifying. It looks like that Alpha they do have the lead, but Blink makes the pass at that last 90-degree corner. Looks like this is Blink's game to lose here. If they are bouncing off the walls, will Alpha be able to make the pass? No, not quite. It's gonna come down to the bumpers. Alpha nailed these in Q1. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen once again. It's Blink who will be taking pole for the second time at Icy Mountain. It's Alpha in second, Tartarus in third, and Magnum in fourth. We'll see you next time at Icy Mountain.